Hey, Stephen Webb here. I want to talk to you about my favourite quote, and I often get asked on Twitter. I share quotes all the time, and probably one of my most popular questions are, "What's your favourite one?" And it has to be the one that means most to me and what makes me reflect most. And that's a quote by Cormac McCarthy from his book No Country for Old Men. And that is, you never know what worse luck your bad luck might save you from. It's very similar to that. And the reason why it means so much to me is because if you look at my life and look at my accident, my bankruptcy, my relationships, and each time it's sprung onto something better, but at the time you cannot see it. And we often look at the alternate as some kind of utopia that we're missing out on. And take my accident, which is the perfect example. I broke my neck at 18, left paralysed. Now then, many people might say, well, what would you have done if you hadn't broke your neck? Well, I can see you as a great family guy. You would have a good job. You'd have a good living. That's all well and good, but it could have been a lot worse. But we don't tend to look at what the worst that can happen. We tend to look at what worse can happen in the future, but we never tend to see it from the past. So I could have grown up a few years later, been a major drug dealer, or I might have had an even worse accident where perhaps I died, or I could have ended up in some kind of relationship that I just really wasn't happy and no way of getting out of. The thing is, we just don't know. So why make it up? Why make up that the alternate would have been some kind of amazing, lovely experience that we would have lived happily ever after? It's a bizarre way our mind works. We want to latch on to the good. We often go through most days thinking, well, if I just get this done, I'll be a lot happier. Just as soon as we get this hurdle down the road, out of the way, my life will be so much better. And we live in this story of an illusion which just isn't correct. It's just not factual. And I've never lived in some kind of utopia story that if my accident hadn't happened. So I guess that's why I find it easier to deal with. I don't look at it as I had at that night some kind of bad omen that took me on a bad journey in life. It just took me on a journey, and that's what I'm on. Just by painting it as bad or painting it as an alternative to good makes my journey a bad one. And it's not. It's just different. It's not the one I was expecting. But when do things work out as you're expecting? How many times have you planned this and that and it just doesn't work out that way? And it works out better most of the time. And if it doesn't work out better, you learn something. So the next time it does work out better. We're just so grabbing to keeping hold of what's good and what we think is good that we end up living a complete illusion that's just not real. So yeah, my favourite quote is the Cormac McCarthy one from the book No Country for Men. I'll rephrase that. No Country for Old Men. I haven't read the book. I had to look up where the quote was from. But yeah, the quote's, you never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. And that, to me, is a great way of looking at things when they go wrong. Don't worry. Don't label it bad. Just label it as an experience. That's how to deal when things go wrong. Just don't get attached to what you think should happen. Don't make up a story. Just be what it is. It's perfect in the moment. You may not see it at the time, but there's a gift in everything. And you just need to become aware of the gift. I'm Stephen Webb, and, like or comment or subscribe. I don't know where you're going to be seeing this video. Share it if it helps you. Look at things differently. I'm Stephen Webb, and thank you.